Live from your local news source, this is ABC27 News, Daybreak.
Welcome to Daybreak. We're coming up on 5:30 on this Tuesday morning. So I know I've been complaining about, it's not really ski season and the resorts haven't been able to make snow, but I took a walk yesterday and I have to say it was really, really lovely.
Yeah, in this kind of air mass, it's so dry out that we warm up quickly during the day, but then we can also cool off at night. So you get these wild temperature swings, kind of like what we're used to in the fall sometimes. Heavy coat in the morning, and then, lighter sweater during the afternoon, that kind of weather. We're going to do that again today. So on the cooler side this morning, now again, anytime we're in the 30s this time of the year, that's where we should be this time of the year. But it is on the cooler side in spots this morning. Wormleysburg looking mostly clear right now. And temperatures are, well, it really depends on your location. Some of us are down into the 20s. York is at 25. Gettysburg is at 27. Meanwhile, Carlisle, 43 degrees. Also in Mifflintown, 43 degrees. So a bit of a range in temperature, but we are all heading for the low 50s this afternoon. So commute this morning is looking pretty good. Just make sure you grab the sunglasses on your way out the door. Temperatures will be in the low 30s at 7 o'clock, and then coming back home at 5 o'clock, temperatures will be falling back down into the mid 40s. We're even warmer then as we head into Thursday, but then we see some changes for the weekend. We'll talk about when those temperatures could drop and when we'll likely see some rain this week. That's coming up in a few minutes. Amanda?
I'll take it. Thank you, Addis. We begin with the coronavirus pandemic. A grim new number, more than 50 million confirmed cases in the U.S. and approaching 800,000 lives lost. New York State's indoor mask mandate is now in effect, and California will reimpose its mask mandate tomorrow.
And from overseas, the UK is reporting its first known death from the fast-moving Omicron variant. The Prime Minister has warned a tidal wave is coming, Omicron doubling every 2 to 3 days. Erica Moffat-Dilks is live in the ABC27 newsroom with more. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning, that's right. And if you plan to go to a restaurant in Philadelphia in the new year, you'll need proof of vaccination. That begins January 3rd, but businesses will have a grace period until the 17th. Philly's mayor says that extends to other places that sell food, including bars, movie theaters, and sports venues. In New York State, there has been an alarming spike in COVID cases, and masks are now mandatory inside any business that doesn't require proof of vaccine. Yesterday, California followed suit, reinstituting its indoor mask mandate for the next month. It comes as the Delta variant is driving a COVID surge nationwide. The Omicron variant is now in 30 states and Washington, D.C. The UK has reported its first death from Omicron, and cases of it are now doubling there every 2 to 3 days. Health experts are insisting a booster shot restores high antibody levels and is the best weapon in the fight against it. Early studies suggest just 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine take a hit from Omicron, but still protect from severe disease.
It appears to be able to evade some of the immune protection of things like monoclonal antibodies, convalescent plasma, and the antibodies that are induced by vaccines. That's the sobering news.
And the Republican-controlled Pennsylvania Senate is advancing legislation to prevent school children from being required to get a COVID-19 vaccination to attend school. While the bill likely faces a veto by the governor, it passed on party lines yesterday and now goes on to the House. Live in the newsroom, Erica Moffat-Dilks, ABC 27 News.
Erica, thank you. Now to the latest on those devastating tornadoes over the weekend. It is day 4 of cleanup and recovery in Mayfield, Kentucky.
This morning, harrowing stories of survival are surfacing from those who have been rescued. This as the death toll continues to rise. Here's ABC's Ike Ajachi.
This morning, homeowner Marty James considers himself fortunate.
It happened so fast. I mean, the glass was flying, and then the roof come down, and the walls are caving in. And
his Mayfield home in shambles after the weekend's torrent of tornadoes tore through this small Kentucky community.
Hell, like a war zone, unimaginable.
There have been at least 44 reported tornadoes across 9 states, resulting in the deadliest tornado outbreak in the U.S. in more than a decade. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says over 1,000 homes have been destroyed from the storms. The death toll in his state rising to at least 74, with 88 lives lost across 5 states, more than 100 people currently unaccounted for.
As I look at this broken down by county, it's way more way more people unaccounted for than this. We expect that this death toll will continue to grow.
Back here in Mayfield,
I was trying to get to my wife. I was bleeding everywhere.
Marty James recalling the moment he thought he lost his partner.
The dresser fell on my wife, and that stopped the wall from falling on her, and she was trapped in there.
Once they made it out, James's wife was rushed to the hospital with 2 broken legs. Battered and beaten, the two eventually reunited alive. What was that moment like when you finally got to embrace your wife again?
Oh, I started crying immediately. It was just, I don't wish this on anybody ever. Unbelievable.
And President Biden, who's been in regular contact with Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, says he'll survey the damage here in Kentucky tomorrow. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Mayfield, Kentucky.
Mennonite Disaster Service in Lancaster County sent a crew to clean up and remove debris from the hardest hit areas. MDS encourages everyone to help out any way they can. To make a donation or volunteer your services to Mennonite Disaster Service, go to abc27.com for a link.
Hundreds of gymnasts who were sexually assaulted by former Olympic doctor Larry Nassar have reached a financial settlement with USA Gymnastics, the U.S. Olympic Committee, and those entities' insurance companies. The women will be paid $380 million. Nassar was convicted of sexually abusing them under the guise of medical treatment when he worked for Michigan State University, USA Gymnastics, which trains Olympians, and a Michigan gym that is under a USA Gymnastics member. Michigan State University agreed to pay $500 million. Nassar pleaded guilty in federal court to child pornography crimes before pleading guilty in state court to sexually assaulting female gymnasts. He was sentenced in 2018 to 40 to 175 years in prison. A massive settlement this morning concerning the child sexual assault cases involving the Boy Scouts. One of the Scouts' insurers has agreed to contribute $800 million toward legal settlements with assault survivors. The payment would bring the amount of money in the proposed victims' trust to more than $2.6 billion. That would be the largest sexual abuse settlement in U.S. history. The Boy Scouts are facing 82,000 sexual abuse claims, which has led them to file for bankruptcy protection. Workers are 15 times more likely to invest in their retirements if their employers offer a plan.
But in Pennsylvania, many employers are not doing that, so the state is pushing a plan of its own. Taylor Tashev is live with the details. Good morning, Taylor.
Good morning. Treasurer Stacey Garrity says more than 2 million Pennsylvanians don't have access to retirement plans. That's why the state created the Keystone Saves program. Many lawmakers say this is a good idea because it will help reduce a burden on the state, which spends $1 billion a year on social services for retirees. The state treasurer will oversee the program. Senior related groups like AARP, United Way, and nursing home advocates are all on board. The program would allow workers without plans to invest for their retirement. Workers set the contribution rate and risk level. All employers have to do is facilitate the deduction, no match required.
These are all people that we know: hairstylists and barbers, truckers and mechanics, our favorite waitresses and bartenders.
And if the plan becomes law, the treasurer would take 4 years to phase it in. Reporting live from the state capitol, Taylor Tashev, ABC27 News.
Thank you, Taylor. A warning for those who live in Hamden Township, Cumberland County. Be on the lookout for a possible rabid fox. 1 person and 3 dogs were bit on Friday. Each were separate instances within a half mile of each other. The State Game Commission is not naming the neighborhood where these bites happened. They say it's not necessarily concerning to see a fox during the day or for a fox to observe you from a distance, but you are urged to call them if you see a fox behaving abnormally. It is now 5:39.
Still to come on Daybreak, Apple's latest software update includes nudity detection to protect children. Details coming up in this morning's Tech Bites.
Also ahead, Senate Democrats want to pass President Biden's Build Back Better plan before Christmas. With the clock ticking, what are the chances of that happening? We're going to take a closer look later on Daybreak.
Highs today heading back into the low 50s, even warmer than as we head into Thursday, but then some changes for the weekend, including some possible rain for Saturday. We'll break that down for you coming up.
Right now, taking a look at the roads, we do have an update for you on that situation in Franklin County. Interstate 81 northbound remains shut down. This is between exit 20 and exit 24. That is between Chambersburg and Shippensburg this morning. Again, that is for a crash in the northbound lanes. But southbound traffic, the update here is that there is one lane restricted right near the crash site. So southbound traffic may start to have a hard time getting by. So be aware of that as you're heading out this morning. We'll keep you updated, of course. We'll be right back.